Alright, our homework is on page 450, and we had 12 through 43, actually 13 through 43 odd. Alright, does anybody have a question on 13 through 23? I'm sorry, what? 15? 15 and 19. Alright, let's look at 15. 15 said 4x plus 1 and 6x plus 3. Okay, if you want to write it out in expanded form first, you could have wrote 4x times 6x plus 3 plus 1 times 6x plus 3. Then, again, you could have wrote it in expanded form again by 4x times 6x plus 4x times 3 plus 1 times 6x plus 1 times 3. Then, you could actually multiply and get 24x squared plus 12x plus 6x plus 3. Add the things that are alike, which means you're going to have 24x squared plus 18x plus 3, and you're done. Now, remember, these two steps right here are optional steps. You could have actually skipped those. And if you used FOIL, remember your first term, so you could have said 4x plus 6x is 24x squared. Okay, hopefully you're going to get to the point that you're going to be able to skip those two steps and do it right there. Then you could have said, I'm going to do the outside terms, which is 4x times 3, which would have given me 12x. Then you could have used your inside terms, which is 1 times 6x, which gave me 6x. And then you could have said your last terms, which is 4x times 3. I'm sorry, your last terms, my bad. 1 times 3 would have given you 3. And then you could have added the terms that are alike. Okay, so remember, these two are optional steps. Okay. All right, do you need to see 19, or is that the same thing you did on 19? You're good? All right. Anybody have a question on 25 through 32? Well, 31. 31. Had m plus 2, and then I have a bracket over here at m squared plus 3m minus 6 plus m squared minus 2m plus 4. This is one that Kara gave us like yesterday, okay? I need to do this stuff first. I'm adding these polynomials, so I need to m squared plus m squared is 2m squared. 3m minus 2m is 1m. A negative 6 plus 4 is that negative 2. Because I'm adding, I'm not multiplying. When you multiply is when you add your exponents. Right now I have 1m squared here and 1m squared here, so I have a total of 2m squared. It's like if I have one apple on one table and one apple on the other one, together total I have 2 apples. So that's what I have here. I have 2m squareds. Okay? Now, then you break down what you can. Here's your expanded form if you want to see it this way. Jenna, are we bothering you? Okay. So I did the expanded form here. Now go through and multiply. So 2m cubed plus m squared minus 2m plus 4m squared plus 2m minus 4. Then add the things that are alike. So 2m cubed plus m squared plus 4m squared is a total of 5m squared. Negative 2m and positive 2m cancels off, so then I have a minus 4. You don't need to put 0. If you put 0m, what is 0 times anything?
0.
And then 0 added to anything would be whatever the other number was, right? So get rid of the 0.
I got everything else right.
Okay.
Would that make it wrong?
I would probably take a point off because mathematically it needs to disappear. Okay? So it's not that you're technically wrong. It's there. It's just we don't write it because, I mean, if so, I could make 1,000 term thing here. 0m to the 20th. 0m to the 19th. I mean, it's just wasted space. And plus, it's another number that's in there that if you need to do something else to it, you may miscalculate it as not a 0, as some other number, and then you've got everything wrong. Okay, so if you have a 0, get rid of it. Okay? Did somebody else want another number a minute ago from over here? 29? Okay. Alright, 29 was 3b, is that squared? I can't see. Cubed. Minus 4b minus 7 and 2b squared minus b minus 9. Okay. Expanded form, I want to go 3b cubed times all this. Then I'm going to have minus 4b times all that. Then I'm going to have minus 7 times all this. Now I'm going to go through and multiply everything. So I can expand it again if I want to. I'm going to try and skip that step. So 3 times 2 is 6. B cubed times b squared is b to the 5. Minus 3b cubed times b is negative or minus 3b to the 4th. Minus 27b cubed. Did everybody see what I did without having to expand it? This next one, now remember this is a negative. So negative 4 times 2, it gives me a negative 8b cubed. This is a negative 1, so negative times negative is positive. So this is going to be plus 4b squared plus 36b. Everybody see again what I did without expanding it? And again, if you still need to expand it, expand it. Alright? There's nothing wrong with doing the extra step. Again, this is a negative 7, so this is minus 14b squared plus 7b plus 63. I'm going to write him right there, okay? Now go through and add the things that are alike. Yes?
Is it 6b to the 6th power?
No. Remember when you are multiplying and you've got your variables that have an exponent and you're adding them. Okay? It's when it's a power to a power that you multiply. Okay? Alright? I have no more 6b or b's to the 5th, so he's going to stay the same. I have a b to the 4 here, and I do not see another b to the 4. I'm going to underline just so I know I've got them. B to the 3rd, I have a negative 27. And then I have a negative 8, so that makes that a negative 35b cubed. And I do not see any more b cubes, so that's minus 35b cubed. I have a 4b squared here and a negative 14b squared here, so that gives me minus 10b squared. 36b plus 7b gives me plus 43b plus 63. Questions? Okay, what about any of the other remainder of the problems? 33. How many of you actually worked that out? Got something? I don't care if it's right or wrong. So I see about 5 or 6 hands that didn't even look like they attempted the problem. So people that answer the problem, when I ask questions, don't answer me. What is, we're finding an expression to represent the area of each shaded region. So the first thing I need to do is find the area of a circle. One of you that did not attempt this last night, tell me what the equation of a circle, finding the area of a circle is.
I didn't get that.
Okay. How many of you have internet? How many of you have phones that have Google? Could you not have typed in area for a circle? And you know what? It would have came up. And I bet you could have looked in the index of your book and said area of a circle. And it probably would have given it to you. The last page of the book has a lot of formulas in it. Very good. So let's start here. What is pi?
3.14.
Okay. What's the radius of this circle?
2x plus 8.
What does it mean when I need to square this?
Everything is
Well, so I'm going to write it twice. So 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3, correct? That doesn't mean 4x squared plus 9, and I'm done. It doesn't mean just square each individual term. Because there's an add in here, I've got to write it twice. Now, I'm going to forget the 3.14 right now. I'm going to use FOIL. So if I do my first terms, what is 2x times 2x? 4x squared. What is my outside terms? 2x plus 3.
6x.
What is my inside terms, which are 3 and 2x?
6x.
And what is my last term, which is 3 times 3?
9.
Let's go in and clean this up. Which means I'm going to add those two. Now I'm going to go through and multiply everything by 3.14. Somebody get their calculator out. I did it, but I don't have it on me right now. 12.56 x squared. Somebody. 3.14 times 12. 37.68x plus, and what is 9 times 28.26. Alright, that's the area of the circle, right? Now, I need to find the area of the rectangle, and the rectangle is what? Length times width. I'm going to scoot this up. Now, what's the length? 3x plus 2. And the width is x plus 1. Or x minus 1, I can't see it. Plus 1, thank you. Again, I'm going to use FOIL. First, 3x times x is 3x squared. Outside, 3x times 1 is 3x. Inside terms, 2 times x. And last terms, 2 times 1. I'm going to add what I can, which is those two middle terms. Now, I'm going to take this circle area and subtract this bottom area. So I'm going to have 12.56 x squared plus 37.68x plus 28.26, and I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to put parentheses here because I'm subtracting all of this. Now, what is 12.56 x squared minus 3x squared? 959.56 x squared. What is 37.68x minus 5x? And what is 28.26 minus 2?
26.26.
And there's your answer. Now, I will tell you, the back of the book, if any of you looked in the back of the book, when they got here, they kept pi as the character pi. So they wrote it as 4 pi x squared plus 12 pi x plus 9 pi. They just distribute it, but they kept the character. They didn't actually multiply. So when they got to the end, they had 4 pi x squared plus 12 pi x plus 9 pi minus this, and they left it. Okay? But unfortunately, we know what pi is, so we can go ahead and multiply it. So I don't understand why the book stopped there. I don't care. I can cut it. Are you sure? Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so some of you may have looked in the book and saw that pi and thought, ooh, yeah. That's all they did. They just didn't multiply where we did. All right. All right. Any other questions from your homework?
Do an even, not.
we're going to look at something else and then probably do some of those even on top of what we're doing. 43. All right, 43. This is the one where it says we have a sandbox kit and it allows us to build a sandbox. Now we can either choose a rectangular sandbox or a square sandbox, but they only gave us material to do one or the other. Now, the A says, what are the possible values of X? Looking at my boxes, look at my boxes. Could X be 1?
Yes.
Really? What's the square? Look at the side of the square. Where's your book?
I
Oh, we don't need our book for class?
Yeah.
I'm just asking. So my side is X minus 2. So can X be 1? Why? Because you can't have a negative side. Okay? Could X be 2?
No.
No, because 2 minus 2 is 0, so there would be no side, right? Alright, could it be 3?
Yeah.
Can be for the square, but what about the rectangle? No, because that's 3 minus 4, so I'm still negative. Can it be 4? No. So what's the first number X can possibly be? It has to be 5 or larger. Okay? Now, I know that you probably looked at it and thought, I don't know what that meant. But do you see where I'm coming from? They gave you the information on the side. We just had to think outside of our normal thing. Okay? Think outside of the box, in this case, the sandbox. Alright, B says, which shape has the greater area? Well, we need to find the area. So, area of my square, I'm going to put square up here so we'll know. That was X minus 2 times X minus 2, right? If I use FOIL, what's X times X? Outside, X times negative 2, negative 2X. Inside, negative 2 times X. Our last terms, negative 2 times negative 2. Negative times negative is positive. Add the things that are alike, so I get X squared minus 4X plus 4. That's my square, correct? Okay. Now, if I look at my rectangle, my area is X times X minus 4. Is that correct? This one I just have to distribute out, so what's X times X? And X minus 4, X times negative 4? And I'm done, right? Which one is bigger? Why? Because it had the plus 4 to it. Does everybody see why it was a little different? Okay. And C says, what is the difference in the area between the two? How are you going to find that off? How are you going to justify to me that it's 4? So I'm going to actually, difference tells me I'm going to subtract, so I'm going to start with 1. And I'm going to subtract the other. So when I do that, this is minus X squared plus 4X, because I'm distributing that negative to everything. Now, what happens to X squared minus X squared? They cancel each other off, right? And negative 4X and a positive 4X, they cancel off. So the answer is 4, but that's how you would prove to me that that's 4, that you're just not guessing something. Okay? Now, can I ask a question? How many of you attempted 43? Alright. Was it scary looking? See how simple it really was when we kind of broke it down? And I know sometimes you don't have at home just somebody questioning you to lead you in the right direction. But always at least try it. You might actually be surprised at yourself. Okay? It may come quicker than you think. Alright? Because you've got it. Alright.